What's up guys, in this video I'm going to reveal the dark side of the game. We're going to break down the dark triad tactics that some guys will use to get the girls. Alright, so first off, mandatory disclaimer. This video is not in any way endorsement of dark triad tactics. I'm simply bringing awareness to something that already exists. I'm giving you guys the information. When you choose to do that information is up to you. For girls, this is going to be actually very informative because you're going to know which kind of guys to watch out for. I personally did not really engage in any of these dark triad tactics simply because I think they're fucked up. Also, I think long term they're more likely to hurt you than help you. Okay, with that out of the way, what the fuck am I even talking about? What does this dark triad stuff mean? It's basically a personality type cluster, and specifically includes 3 different personality types. The first one is narcissism. That's basically extreme selfishness. It's when you care only about yourself. The second one is Machiavellianism. I probably butchered that. And that means basically doing whatever it takes to achieve your goals, even playing dirty. So a Machiavellian fighter might stuff his gloves with lead or kick his opponent in the balls, right? He's gonna fight dirty to win. And the last one is psychopathy. And that means basically a total lack of empathy for other people. Like, you just don't give a fuck how your actions or the things you say or do hurts other people, right? And when you have all 3 of those together, that's when you have the dark triad. Now, I'm going to say it like it is. There is quite a few guys who display these tendencies who are in the pickup community and in the game, right? And another unfortunate fact is a guy who's dark triad will typically, on average, achieve better results than a guy who's not. Simply because when you're playing a game, right, and one person is playing with one hand tied behind their back and the other one is just doing whatever it takes, usually the latter will have better results. However, that does not mean that you have to be dark triad in order to be successful with women. No, like I mentioned initially, I personally don't really engage in any of these things, and I'm quite successful, right? So I'm just simply telling you, the way it is. The second big thing I want to mention, there's different levels of it. So it's not just black and white, or it's not binary, like this guy's dark triad, this guy's not. There's different levels of it, there's different, variations of it, and, there's different degrees of it. You can be a little dark triad, moderately dark triad, there's different, degrees that you can engage in this kind of stuff, right? So that's an important thing to mention. So what's a good example of this? Well, you got the Tinder swindler. He is the poster child of dark triad, right? He's someone who's very narcissistic, he's someone who's Machiavellian, and he's also basically a low-key a psychopath, maybe even not low-key, right? Like, he was basically doing whatever it takes to swindle money out of girls. And this is going to make more sense as we go through some more examples. So let's get into now some specific dark triad strategies. And we're going to start off with the lowest one in the hierarchy. And this is going to be negging. Believe it or not, negging is kind of dark triad, because basically what you're doing is you're getting the girl to lower her self-esteem or her perception of herself through things that you say in order to increase your likelihood of sleeping with her. Now, it's going to be at the very bottom of the hierarchy, right? So even though I personally don't engage in negging, it's not because I think it's fucked up. I actually don't really have an ethical problem with it. It's more of the fact that I think it's lame and, it doesn't really work, right? But I think most guys won't be like, whoa, negging is so fucked up. They'll be like, yeah, it's just a tactic, right? Another good one, this is going to be mass stacking dates and then canceling on the girls. So this means, like, let's say you want to get laid tonight, you set up 3 dates for 8 p.m. and then when the girls confirm, you flake on, the least attractive ones and you go on a date with the hottest girl. So this is something I personally do to some extent. And yes, it is a little bit dark triad because, you're not really respecting the girl's time, right? You're like being very selfish when you do that. Now, of course, the way I and most guys will justify it is basically like, well, girls do this shit all the time as well. And that's true, right? I'm basically playing the game to win. But, if you want to play the dating game in the most ethical way, then you probably wouldn't do that, right? Because you're sort of contributing to the problem of flaking, right? So that is a little bit of a dark triad tactic. Another one, gaslighting. This is something that I do not do. Gaslighting is basically when you blame your actions on other people. So let's say you're late to a date, instead of just taking responsibility, you would blame the girl, saying that she miscommunicated or she actually showed up early, right? This is something that, a lot of, guys who are not that ethical will do. Number 4, love bombing. This is also pretty fucked up. I do not engage in this. So love bombing is when you make it seem like you really care about the girl, like you have feelings for her, like she's really important to you. You tell her, oh, you're the one, you're so perfect, baby, blah, blah. And you basically manufacture artificial feelings on her behalf. And so this way you increase compliance, because if the girl loves you, if the girl thinks that you care about her, she's going to do more stuff for you. The Tinder swindler did this all the time. He would love bomb the shit out of those girls. Number 5, lying, right? And I'm Personally, not a fan of lying. I try to be very honest. Little white lies here and there I think are okay, but substantial lies, I'm not a fan of. An example would this be a guy who tells a girl that he's interested in dating with her just so he can sleep with her, right? That is an example of a substantial lie and something I would not do. However, you can see that if a guy was willing to do that, how that might short term lead to better outcome with women in terms of sleeping with them. That is, the Tinder swindler did this all the time. Like, he would lie to these girls about everything. He would lie to them about his intentions. He would lie to them about his background. He would lie to them about literally anything and everything. Number 6, guilting. Right, so an example of this would be a guy who guilts a girl into having sex with him. Maybe, the girl's not sure, she's not ready, and the guy will be like, oh, I really like you, and this other girl, had sex with me on the first date, and blah, 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 and he brings up, and my blue balls, I'm being so much pain, right? He guilts her into doing that. Now, this is something I think that's very fucked up. Not something I would ever do, but you can see how this might be effective. The Tinder swindler did this quite often. So what he would do, this was super fucked up, he would send the girls a video of his bodyguard basically getting knocked out, and the whole thing was staged, and then he would say, oh, look, my life's in danger, my bodyguard just got beat up or killed, I really need you to give me the money. And the girls would feel guilty because the implication was that if they don't send him the money, that he was going to die, right? So he would really play on their sense of empathy and their guilt. And the last one is manipulation. Manipulating is simply when you're fucking with someone's mind, you're basically twisting their perception, their thoughts in order to get your end. And the Tinder swindler was extremely manipulative. He was quite good at getting money. The girls would think that they're helping him, they would think that they're supporting him, they would think that they're basically temporarily helping him get out of a bind, that he was going to pay them back, and of course they would never get paid back. So now that we've kind of made these examples clear, what is the conclusion here? Well, you can see the Tinder swindler, he was very successful short term. Like, he was getting a lot of money out of chicks, I'm sure he was sleeping with them, but long term, this really didn't work out well for him. Like, think about it, he's probably one of the most hated people, in the world. I'm sure he's banned from Tinder. Most chicks now are going to recognize him, and they're going to certainly not go out with him again. His reputation is forever tarnished. He got into legal trouble in several countries, right? So short term, yeah, this is a great strategy, but long term, quite often you can see this stuff will come back and bite you in the ass. And that's why I think it's important, to recognize that this dark triad stuff exists, but not engage in it too much, because again, this shit can come back and fuck you over. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable, and you can stop being a narcissist and show your appreciation by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and clicking the bell for notification. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.